Boom, boom, boom. Everyone just saw the terrifying sound waves converging into a terrifying fighting spirit that emerged from the six people next to the white figure, attacking the many strong men in the hall. The fighting spirits from all directions slashed viciously towards the people who broke into the hall, bringing up 100 meters of light, and the gravel in the air could not help being shaken by this powerful force. The terrifying power contained in it. Even the powerhouses at the peak of the Samsung Do Emperor would not dare to resist alone. Seeing this terrifying scene, many experts in the hall hurriedly took action. They are also clear that since they have entered the final hall, only if the 7 guardians in front of them are solved first, then the immortal level fighting skills and the more precious creation will have a chance to compete. Otherwise, all the competition before that, it's all just nonsense. The crowd exudes domineering fighting chi that is colorful, and the fighting chi soaring to the sky gathers into a huge wall of light standing in front of everyone, trying to resist the terrifying fighting chi attacking from the hall. Bong, bong, bong. The terrifying sonic Do Chi viciously hit the wall of light that gathered everyone's huge Do Chi, and the two forces were stalemate, as if there were bursts of harsh sounds. Fire killing palm. Break it for me? Wu Huan also looked at the two beams of light that were stalemate, and couldn't help frowning and shouting. Immediately, he stimulated his whole body with fighting chi, and the amazing aura also burst out at this moment. This martial arts is also clear. As long as someone intervenes in this stalemate beam of light, it will definitely shatter. The wall of light formed by the terrifying sonic attack and the huge fighting spirit shattered instantly. Everyone also knows that now, just like in the formation, everyone is a grasshopper on a rope. Only by defending against these 7 guardians can they have a chance to think about other things. Seeing the crisis contact of this sonic attack, everyone in the hall slowly raised their heads and looked towards the 7 figures above the hall. Above the main hall, 7 figures stood in a row. At the top of the main hall is a bone-like skeleton and a seemingly ordinary coffin. Looking down the hall, on the stone steps under the throne of skeletons, there is a figure in white clothes. If you look closely, the man in white clothes looks like a middle-aged person. He can't feel a trace of fighting spirit all over his body. The presence. Wearing white clothes, his back turned to Xiao Yin in the hall, and then he slowly raised his head and looked at the place on the throne that had long since become a skeleton, his eyes full of deep admiration. Dressed on the stone steps under the white clothes, 6 burly figures stand under the white clothes, showing a figure-8 shape. The strange thing is that these 6 people are facing Xiao Yin, and they are standing fixedly, as if waiting for the general. Just like the soldiers who ordered it, there was a killing intent in his eyes. The eyes of the people in the hall also widened at this moment, because the people in front of you are completely different from the stone sculpture just now, and now they're no different from ordinary people. Damn! Seeing this, Wu Huan couldn't help but scolded secretly. He finally practiced for many years, and now his strength is small and achieved. Wu Huan, who originally planned to show his strength in this ruins, also has a feeling that a clever woman can't cook without rice. Even with the powerful strength of the Wu Huan Sanxing Do Di in the late stage, Dang Dang felt powerless in the face of any of those 6 people, not to mention the mysterious powerhouse in white. But Wu Huan didn't have the slightest sign of flinching, staring viciously on the stone steps. Damn! Feng Yi also squeezed her crystal-like jade hands, and the colorful dress behind her also added a few different colors at this moment. Damn it! The information is wrong. The living undead who exuded a strong sense of death all over also looked at the huge lineup on the stone steps in front of him and couldn't help feeling a little uneasy in his heart. Even if all the people in the main hall do their best, I'm afraid it will be quite difficult to deal with these 6 people, not to mention that mysterious white-clothed one. This is just right to temper my sword. A young man in a gray robe had a black cloth wrapped around his eyes, which invisibly exuded an astonishing and frightening aura, but this couldn't hide the thick fiery in the eyes of the gray-robed man. Before the gray-robed man could finish speaking, one hand slowly touched the black sword behind him, and the other hand slowly touched the black cloth on his forehead and eyes. This appearance is obviously a place where you can really hone your sword, so how could the man in gray robe back down? Shaoan, are you scared? On the tender shoulders of a delicate girl, an ice-blue bird was looking at the terrifying people on the stone steps. But the bird just heard the words of the delicate girl, and an astonishing chill emanated from the bird, as if to signal to the girl that she is not afraid at all. This is the real ruins. Ha ha! A figure stood still. His body was burly, like an iron tower. His eyes were also swept away with a fierce look at the 6 paths above the stone steps. The blood in his body was boiling a lot, and his eyes were also full of thick of war. It's much more interesting now. A long black dress highlighted the woman's slender and graceful figure was slender and plump, and the curve alone was enough to attract the attention of the hall. Wuqing Wuhuan, the late Samsung Do Di. Fengli Qingfengyi, the middle stage of Samsung Do Di. The ginseng market of the living dead in Yanwang City, the late Samsung Do Di. Sword King City King Bell, the middle stage of the 3-star Do Di. The demon of the snowy family, the late Samsung Do Di. Luyin, City of 10,000 Beasts, the middle stage of the 3-star Do Di. Berserker Sun Ming, late Samsung Do Di. Gathering all the heavens' favored people near Qingcheng. They express their attitude at this moment. Yueru, you will follow me when the war begins. There are many dangers in this ruin, but it will not be as simple as this simple guardian. Xiaoyan looked at the strength of the 7 people in front of him, and also felt that these 7 people he was indeed worthy of being the proud son of heaven. But Xiaoyan didn't mean to be afraid at all. Yeah, Yueru also gently agreed, and then her slender jade hand stroked her forehead as if something was ready to go. The other people in the hall also looked at each other in dismay. One looked at the other and stood out in front of the 7 people. They were obviously thinking about something. In that case, let's fight. The remaining Alchemist Association and some sects in the hall shouted after thinking. Obviously, after a short period of thinking and weighing, the rest of the people who did not express their opinions are also clear that since they have all come to the treasure, how can they return empty-handed? They all know that as long as they can defeat these guardians, they will naturally get the immortal rank fighting skill. The 7 favored sons of heaven near Qingcheng were already familiar with each other. After a brief glance at each other, Wu Huan took the lead and shouted, "In that case, let's fight." The crowd in the hall suddenly burst into a monstrous atmosphere, approaching the 6 figures above the stone steps. The opportunity has been given to you, but you don't cherish it yourself. In that case, then die. Even in the face of the monstrous weather that erupted from the many powerhouses under the main hall, the white-robed eyes remained unmoved. He still stared at the skeleton on the throne as always and said calmly, as if he was telling a story. An ordinary thing. Everyone was stunned when they heard it. The 6 figures in front of them didn't move just to give them a chance to exit the hall, but they gave up. But everyone was not discouraged at all. Opportunities and dangers coexist. Everyone present knows this. Next, there is the real battle. But the 6 guardians in front of them, the strength of the peak of the 3-star, Do Di, cannot be easily defeated. Since everyone has entered this hall, the immortal level fighting skills and treasures are in front of you. If you have any braids in your heart, you should put them away. Everything is about defeating these guardians. And I believe that you have also felt their strength. The strength of the peak of the Samsung Do Di is unmatched by anyone present. Wu Huan also saw many strong men in the hall, saying that if the current situation is hidden, it is very likely that he will die at the hands of the guardians. These 6 guardians are the peak strength of the 3-star Do Emperor, and they still haven't regained their strength. Once they regain their strength, if the 4-star Do Emperor or stronger, not one of the people present will be able to escape. As soon as the voice of the man dressed in white fell, the 6 burly figures under him also roared away at the crowd in the hall. Puff! A moment has appeared in front of everyone. Kill! These guardians have just woken up and haven't regained their peak strength. This is our great opportunity. Feng Yi has also been using his soul power to perceive since just now, and only then did he know this. The real strength of the 6 guardians in front of them should be more than the peak of the Samsung Do Di. No wonder it makes people feel a little weak, so it is. Many powerhouses in the hall were relieved when they heard what Feng Yi said. Just as the people in front of them were talking, The figures of the 6 guardians spread out, clenched their fists, and attacked the 7 heroes of heaven in the hall. There was a terrifying strong wind on the dry fist, and the 7 heroes in front of the field saw this, and hurriedly defended with luck all over their body. Spread apart, the 2 of us deal with a guardian. First defeat the one who is going to support the others, and leave the rest to the other strong men in the hall. Wu Huan also said slowly. After the short-term relief just now, he also knew that even if they were fighting alone, even the heavens chosen of their 7 major cities would not be able to deal with a guardian. The strength of the peak of the 3-star Do Di was still so tyrannical. So there is a roar of martial arts. No, I can deal with one alone, and I also really want to test the strength of this guardian. A gray-robed humane said, with a strong desire in his voice, like a thirsty person in the desert who suddenly saw water generally. That's what it means. A burly figure also laughed, seeing the powerful aura slowly emitting from his body, which is strange to say, that aura is not emanating from fighting chi, but from which burly muscles spread out. There was no lack of discerning people present to see that one of these 2 people was Wang Zhong, the proud son of the Sword King city, and the other was Sun Ming, a berserker who was blessed by nature. Both of them had such capital. Wang Zhong fights against a guardian. Sun Ming fights against a guardian. Shen Xiu and Wu Huan face off against a guardian. Feng Yi and Yao Mei battle a guardian. Lu Yin and Xiao Yin. Yueru fights against a guardian. The strong men in other halls deal with the last guardian. Xiao Yin was also helpless. Originally, he wanted to fish in troubled waters, but unexpectedly, he was caught by these heavenly people. Now they are grasshoppers on a rope, and this kind of thing cannot be avoided. Yueru followed Xiao Yin and the others to fight against the guardian. Although Xiao Yin and the others have 3 strong men to deal with a guardian, it seems that Lu Yin is in the middle stage of the 3-star Do Emperor. Yueru is also in the middle of the 3-star Do Emperor, and Xiao Yin himself is only the peak of the early Samsung Do Emperor, although he is far from the 3-star Do Emperor. Midterm is just 1 step away. Boom, boom, boom. With the clear division of labor among the many powerhouses in the hall, in the originally quiet venue, with a bang, thousands of different colors of grudge erupted suddenly, dazzling, followed by muffled sounds. It was reported that the figures in the field flashed rapidly. All of them were quickly surrounded by their target guardians in the main hall. Inside the main hall, looking at the scene where the battle broke out almost from the very beginning, one after another fierce fighting spirit training can be seen everywhere. After the division of labor was clarified, everyone dispersed and attacked the guardians. Behind Xiao Yin, the ancient ruler of eternal fire, hung pointed slightly obliquely. A green-haired girl and Xiaohan with an ice-blue hair, slowly exuding a terrifying cold aura, were also standing beside Xiao Yin and them. Although it was unclear why Xiao Yin could make someone as strong as Wu Huan care about them, Lu Yin was not sure why. However, I clearly remember that Xiao Yin has a small beast whose strength is comparable to that of a 3-star Do Di, and his strength and bloodline are stronger than even Xiaohan, who has some Bingfeng bloodline. And Lu Yin also doesn't know why Yueru and Qingqing, a mere 3-star Do Di in the midterm, can also be ranked in the favor of heaven like herself. But now is not the time to think about it. The top priority is to get rid of the guardian, and other things will wait until it is over. Then Lu Yin also stared at the guardian in front of her, and then looked at Xiao Yin. Xiao Yin and Yueru were standing on the edge of the hall, and they were also facing Lu Yin's guardian. Yueru's body exuded cyan fighting energy, and something slowly glowed on her forehead. Xiao Yin's whole body exudes red Do Qi, and then a milky white flame is attached to Do Qi, which looks very terrifying. 2 powerful breaths slowly wrapped the 2 of them, and 2 extremely powerful breaths permeated out of their bodies. At this time, the 2 of them did not break into the chaotic field in the main hall. They know that this extremely chaotic atmosphere will not last long. As long as the people present defeat a guardian, and they each unite their people, the chaos in the field will gradually fall into a situation where several strong coexist. Under the restraint at that time, the chaos will weaken a lot. Once they free up their hands, then these guardians will... Then it's time for them to really fight. However, there is another possibility that if the guardians defeat even any of their teams, their situation will become even more unfavorable. Everyone present knew that a guardian of the peak of the 3-star Dodi was enough to change the situation on the entire battlefield. What should we do now? The green-haired girl bit Bei's lips lightly and said she felt a strong, killing intent from the guardian in front of her. What else can I do? Let's fight. Xiao Yan also shrugged helplessly and attacked the guardian in front of him first.